Hey there, my name is Scott Engler. I'm author of The Job Interview and Legends of the Recruiting and Career World. And today I want to talk to you about a topic which I had actually filmed earlier this week, and I did not like the way it came out and got caught up. But fortunately, I had a really nice conversation earlier today with someone who encouraged me to watch a TED Talks, which re-inspired me to film this now because this topic is such an important one for people that are pursuing the career or job or position or whatever it is in that area that they want, and that feel that they're stuck because they don't have the certification, the title, the quote unquote experience for the position that they really want. Now, in a lot of instances in the clients I work with, we find when we break it down into the components of their skill sets and things that they've done, that really they were doing the same thing but just had it called something different. And a quick example is myself. I had an interview earlier today, and during that interview I was asked, why did you switch from counseling to coaching and writing books on job search strategies? And as you know, I hadn't been asked that specific question in a while. And as any good journalist, he asked it in a way that I was like, oh yeah, that's a great question. And I was thinking about it, and really, I've always had a desire, whether I was being a tutor or a behavioral interventionist, whether I was a personal trainer, whether I was a counselor, my desire has always been to help people reach their potential. It's always been using my own gifts of caring about people, of setting goals, of understanding how different people are motivated in different ways, and how could I, lots of times instinctively understand how to reach that person to bring out the best within themselves so that they can move forward in their life. That's always been what I've done in each role. But of course, being a tutor when I'm younger, right, tutoring people is a lot different to most people than being called a career coach. But I was still doing the same types of things, the principles, the concepts, the feeling, the passion I had was the same. And I would invite people listening to think of what you've done so far in those same terms. And now I want to also share a really what I feel is a really powerful example of the experience predicament that people talk about. And I know that a lot of it does feel real. And yes, when you're submitting things online and they have certain requirements that you can't get past to actually be able to, talk to them about what you've done or maybe how things translate, it could feel very real, and sometimes it does become a hindrance. But with myself and with clients I work with, there is almost always a way around. And I want to just give a really quick example of a situation that demonstrates what I'm talking about. So when I was growing up, I wanted to be a professional basketball player. And I loved basketball. I worked my butt off. I quit playing other sports and I just played basketball year round. I went to Magic Johnson basketball camp, Jack Haley basketball camp. I was really fortunate to be able to do those things. And for the relevance of this example, I did not play high school basketball, unfortunately, even though I wanted to. But let's say I did. Let's say I played high school basketball and a really reputable coach, and maybe we won our division or something like that, or the whatever tournament it was in our city. So let's, for this example, say that I played 4 years of high school basketball as well. So I'm going to show up to a tryout. We have me, who's been playing basketball for 15 years, have gone to camps with one of the best players in NBA history, Magic Johnson. I had him and other reputable coaches teaching me fundamentals and things like that. I played on traveling teams. I played 4 years of high school, remember, and so I've learned I have a really impressive resume on paper, right? Then we have Steph Curry. For those of you who don't know who Steph Curry is, he's on the Golden State Warriors. He's one of the best, if not the best player in the NBA right now. So when me and him show up to a tryout, and I actually don't know what his experiences was, but for the sake of this example, he has also played 15 years of basketball. So we both have the same amount of time. I have this huge resume of went to this great school, played basketball. Let's say I was, 4-time All-Star, and I won some award when I was in school, and I played at some small private school, so, I didn't have as much competition. Let's just say that was the deal. Then we have Steph Curry, same amount of experience, but when you look at what he's done, it just says outdoor basketball. So we show up to a scrimmage, me and Steph Curry. Now, assuming that the person that is going to be looking at us talks to us about what we've done when we play basketball, or hopefully for Steph Curry's case, we do any type of scrimmage. It doesn't matter what I had. I could have had 60 years on here and been a 15-time All-Star, with every trophy in the world. A coach is going to watch me and him scrimmage and just know without a shadow of a doubt that this guy is clearly meant to play basketball and this guy is not. I don't care what it says about this guy's paper, what, privileges he's had, and this guy just has a natural talent. And in this guy's case, he just didn't have necessarily the training that people look for on paper, or some of the privileges to go to like a nice basketball camp. And there's nothing wrong with what I did, and that's awesome that I got to do that. Of course, I enjoyed it. But the reason I'm sharing that is because it is clear that this man has a gift and a talent for basketball that this person doesn't. And it doesn't matter how many years this person has done it with the proper fundamentals, because what the truth is? This guy, as long as he's willing to learn some of the rules in the NBA and just certain fundamentals and guidelines, maybe just things that weren't obviously instilled on street ball, those are things he could learn. Those are teachable. Talent can't be learned. And so I'm sharing that with you today because if you have a passion or a talent and you're letting the certification or whatever it is stop you from going there, that is an excuse. It's an excuse. There's always ways around it. And I would encourage you, if you're watching this today and you're feeling inspired, think about it. There's ways around it, and that's sometimes we do need a mentor to be able to process things out. One of my clients had relevant experience, but he didn't have the project management certification. Well, guess what? He was in the Marines, and so he got part of his online education paid for. So he enrolled himself and started taking the PMP certification. Well, this guy had such an amazing, impressive history in the Marines of what he did that was not called a project manager, but which was actually the same exact thing as a project manager, that anyone would be silly not to see that potential in him, and he's already in process of getting that certification. So I'm sharing these things with you guys because there's always ways around it, and I hope that if you're listening, you won't let those kinds of things get in the way between you and your dreams. Now, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. You could go on my website, www.thejobinterview, to learn more about me. And please, if you know anyone else that could really benefit from this, share it with them. And until next time, to your success.